I'll catch up. Okay, we're going to call the committee of the whole meeting to order at 1:02, June 25th, 2025. Approval of agenda. Recommendation of the committee of the whole meeting agenda for June 25th, 2025 be approved as circulated. Councillor Evans, Councillor Rich, all in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Adoption of minutes. Recommendation that the minutes of the committee of the whole meeting held on June 11th, 2025 be adopted. Councillor Bushel, Councillor Evans, all in favor? Carried. Thank you. Okay, we have a delegation. Deepwater Quest Society, Rob Sutherland and Alan Ainsworth are here to share with us the about everything about the society. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you. Thanks for hearing from the Deepwater Quest Society. I'm Rob Sutherland for the people that don't know me. This is Alan Ainsworth. We're both members of RCMSR as well. And Deepwater Quest Society was actually born out of Royal Canadian Marine Search and Rescue Station 106. And I'll just give a little bit of history later. But start with our, oops, I'm supposed to do this thing. Just to start with our sort of our vision and our mission for the year. We're going to be finding missing drowned victims and our team of volunteers are dedicated to the improvement of the emotional well-being of family members, friends, and associates of drowned victims, not only in the Shuswap Lake area, but all of freshwater lakes in BC. We're based in Second-Moose on the Shuswap Lake, and our team and vessel can travel anywhere to any freshwater lake in BC. So our equipment is purpose outfitted equipment, outfitted with radar and chart plotters, of course, side scan sonar, and remotely controlled vessels. The equipment was originally owned by the Legacy Search and Recovery Society out of Langley, and it was as a result of, it started as a result of a member, one of those members' sons and his friend drowned in a river. There was no way to find the body. It was missing for quite a long time. They purchased all the equipment and then eventually found them, the son and the kid. They offered the service throughout BC, but just poor contacts and everything, they just couldn't get the society all set up properly. So they approached me at the time as station leader for the RCMSR and asked if we would take on the equipment and see what we could do to continue their requirement or their, I guess, idea of saving, finding other people. So at the time, RCMSR Station 106 was quite busy with all sorts of different things, as you know, including building our new rescue base. And at the time, we couldn't get everything all in place and get it all set up. As a result, over a period of time, we also decided that it probably would fit better as its own separate society. And so just recently we've set up our own society and we have 18 RCMSR members, part of the Deepwater Quest Society, to run the society, all trained by the RCMSR and capable to use all the equipment. So we're just in a process right now of training our members and it takes, so far we're finding some pretty high-tech stuff. Some of us old guys are having a problem. So, but we're gonna of the fall to get it in place. So why does the Deepwater Quest Society exist? To extend the search and rescue efforts of drowned and marine organizations to include search and recovery. We want to reduce the impact of a missing person. As you know, I'm sure if you ever lost a loved one and they couldn't be found, the impact that would have on your family and friends and all that kind of stuff would be immense, and you'd never be able to stop thinking about it. So we want to help family members and friends work through their sorrow, and we want to minimize the suffering being felt by family and friends and that type of stuff. So the impact of a missing person obviously adds immense effects on those grieving. There's no closure for the grieving process. There's no there's the long-term negative impacts can include depression, anger, and loneliness if it's a husband or wife or whatever, and that's it. The quality of life can be reduced, isolation, worry, and the lack of support to create some cumbersome insurance issues. So the purpose of our society and volunteers is to conduct searches around victims at the request of police or the family. To provide positive search information to the police in concert with the laws. To recover a drowned victim if requested by the police or the coroner, and to hold public awareness of water safety. So obviously we have needs to operate. We need donations, personal, corporate, service clubs, government organizations, BC lotteries. We're going to be looking at the district of Sicamous, the district of San Martin, CSRD, BC lotteries, any kind of government organization in the grants and all that kind of stuff. But one of the main things we need is community support for our training, and which will both take place in individual training and collective training as a group with other organizations. So community support obviously is very important when applying for grants and financial support. And this is how we can see how the district of Sicamous can help initially, is to provide a Deepwater Quest Society with a letter of support to help us finance our operations. And then from that, I'm sure there's all sorts of different questions on capabilities of the Deepwater Quest and equipment and the people. And if there's any open up questions.
Thank you, Rob. Council, any questions? Councillor Evans, Councillor Bushel.
We're glad that you guys provide this service. That's a pretty big deal in BC. And I don't think that we're gonna have any problem wanting to give you guys a letter of support. Yes.
Councillor Bushel.
Yes, through the chair. Thank you very much, Rob and Alan. Great new asset for the community of Sicamous. Very, very much needed in the with the lake systems and rivers we have close by. And I would support. I would make a motion to provide a letter of support.
Councillor Beach, second it? Yeah. Okay, we'll just continue on questions.
Okay.
Go ahead, Councillor Beach.
I thought he was making a motion. Anyways, I just, through the chair, Rob, you continue to astound me with your projects and how you get involved in the lake activities and the safety. And I just want to say that you represent such a small community, but everything that you do is like BC wide, it seems. And I just am so proud of you and your people. Thank you. I support it wholeheartedly.
Thanks, Rob. I as well do. I do have a quick question for you. You're going to ask the District of Sicamous for a letter of support, but this is a service that you're providing to all the freshwater lakes in the province of British Columbia. So I'm going to be assuming that you're going to be asking Lona and Nelson and all of those communities as well for support.
We're basically starting local. We've already got support from the RCMP in Sicamous and San Martin. Now the district, I'm just going to go as wide as we can. The more support we can get, more justification for grants and financial support that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Councillor McCabe.
No, I just wanted to say that I support this. Yeah, thank you.
Councillor Bushel.
Yeah, it just kind of brings back thoughts from when I had a business before in the houseboat business with a lost customer, and I think we had to go to the U.S. to bring in a vessel to locate the person. This is a great asset for the province and for Sicamous for sure.
You're probably talking about the Ralstons, this husband and wife endeavor to offer the service in basically the western states in Canada. They come up to Canada quite often, and they've been something like 80 to 90% successful using this type of, same type of equipment and finding missing people. They are in the process now of trying to retire. They're in their 80s. And they are gonna actually often have offered to come up and provide us training before they actually retire. So we've been in contact.
Awesome. Anyone else? Rob, thank you so much. And yes, I'm echo what Councillor Beach said. You continue to do such an amazing work for our community and now expanding. So thank you very much. So we are going to vote on the recommendation. All in favor? And that's carried. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you very much.
Okay, department updates. District of Sycamoose Development Corporation Economic Development Mid-Year Update. Carly, take it away.
Right, good afternoon, Mayor and Council. So very similar to the tourism update I delivered 2 weeks ago, I'm now going to take you guys through the economic development update for the Dev Corp. So as mentioned previously, one of the ways to tackle a lot of the initiatives and strategic priorities that we have, the board decided to create subcommittees, and we created 4 of them that most of them sit now on all 4 of them because they, want to put their input in on each of them, but these are broken down into our 4 ones and 4 committees, and here are some of the updates. So under business development and support, we've been targeting new business attraction after identifying gaps in local business landscapes. So obviously with the rail trail and the Yellowhead Mountain Bike Park and the pump track, we're looking at bike repair, bike retail, exploring, as always, the tech industry and digital nomads. So CAO Strachan was great in connecting us with the Kelowna Innovation Center and Accelerate program in Okanagan. So we're going to head there in the fall to look for guidance and inspiration on how they built up such a strong tech industry, as well as continuing to work with Salmonar because their tech industry is exploding as well. So that's almost like a low-hanging fruit in regards to business attraction because they are, usually smaller companies. They don't need a lot of infrastructure. And as we start to build up commercial spaces in town, we'll have opportunities and locations to house them. We hosted a realtor roundtable, so timing with realtors is always interesting, but we had 4 Sycamoose realtors and 1 Kelowna realtor that saw the post on our development corporation social media and made the drive down so that he could see what we were doing. He said this isn't something that's done in Kelowna, so he was excited to look and see what we were doing in terms of engaging our local realtors to understand who's coming into town and what their perception is of Kelowna. 3 of our Dev Corp directors participated in an afternoon roundtable discussing market trends, economic statistics, and plans to drive visitor and business attraction to Sycamoose. This was something that at the end, when I got feedback from the realtors that were in attendance, and even the ones that weren't, but had staff come in, they requested that we do 1 twice a year. So they'd like to see a fall one so that we can continue to update them with the relevant tourism and economic development initiatives that are happening because it's a good selling feature for them to talk about what's happening in and around town. We invested in a Sycamoose's Open campaign earlier in the year. When the tariffs hit and there was a lot of economic uncertainty, we tagged on to a lot of the other programming within the province that Destination BC and TOTA and other BC EDA put out in the Your City is Open campaign. So we had some great statistics from there. I apologize, I didn't include those, but we had a lot of click through on when we were promoting our local businesses to go through and drive them to our website. Asset development and third-party resources for businesses. So maps, content sharing, emergency preparedness, the information through regular conversation with our businesses. We're finding out what it is that they actually want in their place of business, or the resources or webinars that they're interested in, but don't necessarily have the time to research on their own. Social media and online engagements, shares, tags, collaborative posts. So again, building the DOSCC and the economic development image on social media and getting our businesses to learn how they can promote themselves through tagging us, and we can share to our growing followers. We are doing local business features on both the website and social media. If you guys were on social media today, you'll see that we featured what the WUP's 5-year anniversary is on Canada Day. So we actively went, we did a video with Sheena and Smalls and posted it today to encourage Congratulations on 5 years of being in business in town. And the Shop Sycamores program support. So it's funny, when I decided to split up the tourism and economic development updates, you'll see a little bit of redundancy because they're so intricately linked between what we do for tourism industry and what we do for economic development. They're almost one and the same. So the QR click through, I did talk about that back in the tourism presentation 2 weeks ago. Next committee is building, lease, and property development. So ongoing discussions with hotel developers to aid in hotel attraction strategy. This has been a really great opportunity for us to sell the community with help from mayor and some councillors to make sure that when they're getting people asking about Sycamoose, they're driving them to the DevCorp so we can almost romance them and show them our investment strategy package, our community profile, and really talk about all of the benefits on investing in Sycamoose. So to date, in 2025, we've talked to 5 separate hotel groups and have been engaged, and sent out very comprehensive info packages about Sycamoose. We hosted a hotelier group from Kamloops and toured potential sites around Sycamoose. The development and update of our investment attraction package. So continuing to keep that updated. So the information that we are sending out is relevant to anybody that we're delivering it to. Continued outreach to local businesses interested in affordable commercial lease space. So as people are starting to see activity in certain areas of building, we're connecting the 9 local business owners to any existing new development that's coming up. So again, really monitoring that need for commercial space, commercial lease space, and making sure that we're staying on top of any that might be, coming open and available. And building out the business case to develop an incubator space Q4 to support Sycamoose entrepreneurs and home-based businesses looking to expand into a professional space. The next one is our events and tourism subcommittee. So the entire board were active participants in the value of tourism study and destination development marketing strategy. So I did present that 2 weeks ago. The final report is uploaded. I believe it's uploaded to the website now, but we are printing out some physical copies, but we also have it in digital form. So with working with the hotel developers, we've actually sent that to them because it's looking like there might be enough information in our tourism economic impact study that satisfies the need for understanding our accommodation trends. It's quite a deep look at what tourism impact is. So I'll be sending out a link to all of mayor and council to review the completed package so you can see just how important the data that we gathered from this 6-month-long project. We're ongoing with our shoulder season event attraction strategy. So looking at fall concerts and festivals and how we can attract that, and looking at the variety of runs. We're in a very unique location with a lot of flat surfaces that are very attractive to certain types of runs and events. So we're continually reaching out and looking for those types of opportunities to bring them to Sycamoose. With that, though, layers into the asset mapping review. So working with Recreation and Jamie on what she has done with her asset mapping to ensure that everything is up to date. So when we are going heavy into event attraction, which is starting now for 2026, we have the right facilities outlined in that document. And then Canada Day support for Jamie and her efforts to promote the DOS. Our investment from a DOSDC standpoint is running with the Double Tribute Band, which is a Van Halen tribute band, to help bridge the gap between day festivities and the fireworks. So there's about a 3-hour gap that we wanted to make sure that we were, providing something for people to do as they're coming off the water before they're heading over to the beach park. So there'll be a Van Halen tribute band closing out the DOS main stage that's happening on Main Street. And then transportation and advertising is our 4th subcommittee. We explored BC Transit and TransLink options and private enterprise to support shared working population along Revelstoke to Salmon Arm corridor. This is an ongoing project as we're looking at shuffling that workforce. It's something that we need to continue to investigate. So this is an active project. Working to support the Sycamoose Ferry Society in the development of the Made for Sycamoose Ferry solution to provide safe access to Beach Park and Rail Trail. Broom Bridge Construction Communications Group participation to ensure consistent messaging to business and travelers. So our investment in campaigns right now extend from the island, Lower Mainland, all the way through to Saskatchewan to ensure that we are capturing the information about, we're open, the highway's open, and making sure that they have the right links to connect them to the DOS page and the Broom Bridge Group website, the Broom Bridge Construction website. And then conducting local business surveys around interest in collaborative shared costs of digital advertising to come back to council with a new business case around digital highway signage. This is something that we're we're working on and hope to present in Q3, and then the ATV BC Municipalities Engagement Session. Building our social media and website presence, we did a website update project, which was completed in February. So I encourage everybody to go to the dosdc.ca website. We added an investment profile directly to the website. Sorry. We linked the website to the Explore Sycamore business directory. So in terms of saving on efficiencies of purchasing business directories, we just linked it to the one we have on the Explore Sycamore page. We added a tariff resource page in March to help guide people and businesses. So that was a sort of a one-stop shop to look at all of the information that they could find that stays up to date around tariff resources. We updated our resource page to current opportunities for businesses, which is anytime we see webinars or business support, online sessions or grants, we put them there and then we make a consecutive post to social media. We added a sneeze page to the website to host minutes and newsletters, and we added our newest board members. To continue on with our social media efforts to make sure that we have a well-rounded digital and online presence, our Facebook and Instagram growth has been really great. As you can see, from March 18th to June 15th, we had 33,000 views, which is 1,000% up from our previous 90 days, which shows you that, you know, we are making some traction on social media with our business outreach. We're starting to build the pages as a way to promote businesses, share posts, and communicate grants, webinars, and other opportunities. And we're continue to collaborate with SAYS and Shuswap ECDEV to help promote their programs and vice versa. So less about reinventing the wheel and more about sharing costs and allowing each community to host certain aspects and promote within the full Shuswap region to help businesses connect not only in Sycamore, but connect with like industry businesses right across the Shuswap to share ideas. We hosted the community yard sale day. So this came up from a conversation with a local business and with the realtors about how cool would it be to jump on board and support a community yard sale day. We pulled this together in under a month. We did a mail out to all of the community members, and we had 31 QR scans, 29 unique scans. We had posters around town, which we tracked with QR scans. Our webpage actually had 312 visits in 2 weeks, specifically to the community yard sale page. We had 15 participants that wanted to be added to the map. 13 of them paid, 2 of them were last minute. So they got added and snuck in, but we actually donated the $65 for the $5 map to the Eagle Valley Community Resource Center. The day of and post event, we had 15 households around Sycamore that participated. They had their location listed on the map, both Facebook and physical maps. We had 6 feedback responses to our online forum and spoke in person with many residents. And overall, the positive feedback with a few suggestions for 2026 to make this an annual event was make the maps easier to read, have more physical maps available, organize a central location during the yard sale for people who may not want to host a yard sale at their properties, or people that are in strata units that can't actually put any type of garage sale on their property. So our 2026 goal is going to extend the marketing reach to encourage visitation from Revelstoke to Vernon and across the entire Shuswap region, and encourage local businesses to get involved to drive awareness to their locations. So a very cost neutral activity that delivered some great results and great community engagement. We launched our first DOSDC newsletter. So if you haven't signed up, please go to dosdc.ca and sign up for the newsletter. In our first one, we featured the description of the DOSDC, including mission, vision, strategic priorities, and ongoing and upcoming initiatives, links to our updated resources. We're continuing to update with our workshops and ways to support businesses and shop local. So within our first output of the newsletter, we're sitting at 70 subscribers and growing. So our continued support with the Sycamore Narrows Environmental Enhancement Society, or SNEES. There's currently 23 paid memberships and 45 local participants. We've got 68 subscribers to our quarterly newsletter. Some of the ongoing projects are the channel dredging feasibility study. The SNEES has hired Greg Portis, which is a hydrology engineer, and Stephanie Schoenberger, Western Water Systems, to provide the accurate data needed to look at the impact of what's happening within the channel. And then we created a Sycamore Channel Economic Impact Study and Survey, which provides it's sent out to all of the channel owners, and this provides supporting documentation for conversations with Fund Counter and Deputy Minister Lori Halls regarding the delayed foreshore tenure renewals. Last past Tuesday, we did our third annual business walk. This was a collaborative initiative with the Chamber, and Councillor Rich attended as part of our overall DOSDC strategic plan to support local businesses, foster economic growth, and create a thriving community. So as everyone knows, business walks are designed to understand the pulse of the local business community, identify barriers and opportunities, support business retention and expansion, strengthen relationships, and drive economic development initiatives. We had a set of expected outcomes, and really, when we look at the preliminary results, we had 12 volunteers show up. They were equipped with a survey and some talking points and a list of businesses that they were targeting to hit. We had 22 business owners that pre-booked time to make sure that they had that opportunity to have somebody come and visit and have discussions about their business and the outlook for their business. We had 15 businesses that weren't available on that Tuesday that had booked for alternate times. Through there was 2 new chamber members that really had an opportunity to understand the benefits of being a chamber member. We are sending out a confidential survey to all businesses that were unable to participate but want to provide input and feedback. And then the follow-ups from the 15 businesses are ongoing right now and will be conducted into the first week of July. And I hope to present a post-event report by mid-July. So talking about staff development and partnerships, I attended the BC EDA Summit in Penticton in May. The FCBC has created a pilot project called the Economic Development Professionals Network. We had our inaugural meeting in Armstrong, and essentially everybody that sits within the FCBC catchment area, which goes from Revelstoke all the way down to Osoyoos and up to Kamloops, were invited. The Economic Development Executive Directors were invited to come and sit at a table along with the chamber members in the area to chat and network about opportunities and challenges currently facing around business and industry challenges. So the first one, we came up with a list of 40 items that everybody believed were challenges from our area. And FCBC has funded a moderator, Robin Sear, and she's going through all of our feedback and will help define the future meetings that we're going to be attending. I had tours and meetings with Megan Tabor of C Revelstoke to discuss data collection around accommodators and their booking software, as well as shoulder season implementation and how we can work together between sledding and working as we develop our stay in Sicamous and save packages with skiing clientele. I met with Steve Horton, Sled Sicamous, around the economic impacts of sledding, season stats and opportunities to support the club to drive more visitation throughout the season. Especially looking at that late season visitation. We discussed partnering at trade shows in the fall of this year, collaborative marketing efforts, and building a new stay and ride package in partnership with accommodations, retail, and restaurants. We plan to partner up and host a meeting to build up assets and budgets for package development with our retail and restaurant partners. I attended monthly BDC Community Future Saves Big Connect SCDC and other educational resources to stay on top of industry trends, challenges, and connect with specialists that can provide future benefit to Sicamous, and provided a monthly office rental space to BC Infrastructure Benefits to host training sessions in the DOSDC office. And what do we have coming up for the remainder of the year? So the board has committed to 3 to 4 business visits each month by staff and directors to continue to support momentum from business walks. We use the business walk feedback to plan for fall sessions. And so far, the big ones that the businesses have actively said is AI integration, social media and email marketing, tax specialists, Google listings, SEO, and having speakers come from BDC and Community Futures to help with engagement and conversation around industry challenges and business challenges. We're going to update the DOSDC strategic plan as our current 5-year document expires at the end of 2025. And we're going to use that value of tourism study and destination development plan as a basis for strategic direction to align our tourism efforts. We're going to continue building out the DOSDC resource page with relevant data and information that we can share to local businesses, populate executive pulse with industry data coming from the business walks that will allow us to specifically pull local economy stats and insights, as well as track the conversations we have with our businesses. Restart monthly industry roundtables in September. This was a unanimous request by almost all of the 22 businesses that were visited. Is they loved the industry roundtable model and they would like to have a space, which our DOSDC office is perfectly poised to start bringing in business owners to actually collaborate and just have conversations around specific challenges. We're going to explore the Agriculture Food Security Grant, which is a September intake to talk about food sovereignty and food security. Strategic planning for our 2026 DOSDC plan by the end of October. So we committed to having everything for 2026 ready to go to present at a council meeting in October. the State's Big Connect Summit in October. So if anybody's interested, you should really take a look at it. It's a wonderful forum that happens. It's a one-day forum in Salmon Arm. Myself and my directors do attend, and it's a great opportunity to network with industry experts and local businesses. The Southern Interior Regional Economic Summit is happening at Sires. It's happening in Salmon Arm November 3rd to 5th. This happens every 2 years. And again, it's another opportunity to engage with industry experts around what's happening with a big topic going to be the economic challenges around tariffs, importing and exporting, and small business retention. Development of and investment in InvestBC and BC ads in this fall to launch for 2026. And then finalize our rural BC meeting and conference attraction consortium with Christina Lake and source out another interested location. So we've been working and having conversations with economic development entities in Nanaimo, Nakuspa, Nelson to develop community packages to attract smaller meetings, AGMs and trainings, et cetera, during the shoulder season. So the plan is to present businesses and organizations with a 3-year meeting package with user groups from 20 to 150 people, complete with meeting space details, dine around restaurant options, and experience opportunities. And that'll be based seasonally. And that is all for the first half of the year.
Carly, thank you very much. And I see we got some ACT Dev folks in here too, so that's awesome. What an aggressive, amazing plan. So, yeah, and a lot going on. So thank you very much. Council, questions? Councillor Evans, Councillor Bushel.
Just a comment, it's really cool to see how involved the board is in not just doing meetings, but working with staff to businesses and aggressively search out opportunities. Good job, you guys.
Yeah, through the chair. I can't speak enough about how awesome this board is. They're so engaged and they're a volunteer board giving up their time, and it's not just the one meeting a month. It is, they are regularly meeting and we're having text conversations about things and ideas, and it's very encouraging to work with such a group of great people.
Councillor Bushel.
Yes, through the chair. Thank you, Carly, for the update. Great update. A while back when Todd and I were we were on council with together, we talked about maybe doing shows like as a group, like a consortium of some sort. And just wondered if you ever thought about that more, to do shows for, all the houseboat companies, or go to the snowmobile shows, and kind of have a sycamore spruce, like Valemont does with Varda. And I know it really stands out when for Valemont anyways, and not just a one company. It actually, brings everybody towards sycamores as a brand. So I just wondered if you guys have ever thought about that.
Yes, through the chair. It's actually been a big conversation that we've had this year, looking at that feedback. So I posed it to our houseboat companies and then Sled Sycamores to when they attended their shows last year to really think about through the lens of Explore Sycamores and the Devport coming as a 4-season attraction presentation promotion within their booth, or adding on a booth beside them to support that. What shows would make sense? So we committed to doing one show with each entity so that we could, almost as a pilot project. So the boat shows will happen in 2026. So we'll build out a plan with the household companies. Sled show, we're looking at fall options because that's typically when they go, and we'll see how that works. Because now that we can go and promote, when we're asked about what it is people are asking them, it's not just about sledding, it's what else can we do? And so when we talked with Steve, he said he answers a lot of questions about, we love coming there in the wintertime, but what's there to do in the fall? What's there to do in other seasons? So this would be a great opportunity now that I can build an asset package or videos or signage that showcases things like that would be attractive to our sledding community, would be the Owlhead, the mountain bike park, looking at incorporating the off-road ATV, talking about our zero emissions bylaw here for side-by-side vehicles, et cetera. So it's in the plan. So for sure, 2025, we'll have one with the sled group and then 2 more shows in the springtime with our houseboating companies.
Great, okay. And then one other quick one. I've always thought about it, and I've brought it up to council before and staff about kind of looking at that Owlhead area as a staging point for our, like campground for RVs, and they RV and quadding, because it's such a big, long track out to Blue, Yard Creek and Blue Lake and all that. It would be a great, partnership, whether you have the snowmobile club run it, and take some of the revenue, And the ECDEV maybe take some of the revenue, but it would really round off the shoulder seasons, which is what we're looking for, is to try to build that shoulder season. And there's lots of room in that parking lot to do that, in the summertime.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Councillor Beach.
Through the chair, Carly, you always leave me breathless when you present. There's just so much and it's very exciting to think of all of the connections that your team and all of you are making and the potential is incredible. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Councillor Bailey.
Thank you. Excuse me. Oh, frog in my throat there. So I noticed the hotel section. I just wanted to kind of ask you a little bit more questions of where that's at. You stated that you gave packages to 5 different groups, and I guess how's that going along?
It's through the chair, sorry.
Process,
It's
right?
process,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's a lot of back and forth, understanding what their needs are. And with every conversation that we have, we're able to develop our package even more to get ahead of future conversations. So the most recent conversation, we actually had a really impressive package to send them that ticked a lot of the boxes that they were looking for. Some hoteliers had no idea, like the ones that we hosted here. They identified, different areas of land that what would fit within their vision. And they said, if these certain areas come up again, please let us know. But every hotelier we're learning has a different vision about what their property would look like in a community like Sicamous. So it's been great conversations.
Mhm. And I guess just to follow up on that, were these hotel groups kind of more looking, because the reason I'm asking is I've talked to somebody as well too, and there seems to be 2 different kind of groups of interest. One is more resort style, and then 2, obviously more of a overnight style, right? And so I think council back a little while ago, we kind of said that we would love to have some sort of boutique resort style hotel. And I just wonder if that's kind of the conversations you guys are zeroing in on, is more along that line? No.
Yeah, for aggressive outreach, we are looking at approaching them. For ones that are approaching us, that are asking, they're more of your, chain hotels. The challenge is our yearly accommodation capacity numbers. And it's, the summer does balance out that sort of the ebbs and flows.
Swings, yeah.
But when I talk about presenting them with packages, when they see this 5-year destination development plan, it gives them a good sense that that Sicamous is committing to that shoulder season attraction that will eventually help build up those shoulder season numbers and increase that occupancy capacity.
Thanks.
Thank you, Carly. Just a comment, once the fiber arrives first quarter of 26, I suspect that that's going to make a huge impact to what you guys are doing right now, because it'll all be installed and ready to hook up by end of March. Is that correct, Council? 2026? 2026 first quarter. So that is really good news for our community, and it's been a long time coming, and it's been talked about. So for an incubator or a tech company, like, that's great news for them. We can start sharing that so that, they're preparing and thinking about it. My other comment is, and I haven't been to the new website yet. On there, is there a landing page that kind of tells investors what's available in Sicamous? Like, we talk about a hotel, we talk about a bike shop. Is there a page in there that's kind of like a wanted page, like we are looking for this? There's opportunities for this in Sicamous.
Through the chair, we don't have, we were exploring some widgets, as they're called, that would showcase and allow us to promote sort of that upcoming vision. Our investment attraction strategy, which talks about those types of aspects, is there, but it's a great piece of feedback to maybe have a standalone page or a little, our sort of key ones that we're looking for. On the page, we do have a spot where business owners or realtors can list the businesses that are available or commercial spaces that are for sale. So we do have that, which our realtors are slowly getting into visiting there and also populating that, because that's when we're talking about investment in promoting those assets. We're linking that page specifically so that we're trying to populate that as a one-stop shop to see what commercial space is available. And then once we get our lease spaces, then there'll be a section for lease availability as well to mitigate that whole. It's kind of
Yeah.
onerous to go through some of the realtor pages to find that information. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm gonna make a note of that.
Yeah, maybe have a discussion with your board. That might be an opportunity as well. I just want to thank the board and you, Carly. I think you guys are doing a brilliant job. So
Thank you.
anyone else have any questions? Councillor Bailey.
Yeah, just on the commercial space, there is quite a bit available in Sycamoose for a lot of different leasing or buying. And you can actually link to realtor.ca, just the commercial section, and it could populate that all. So just a suggestion there, but yeah, there's quite a few of those kind of resources already there, but you might be able to just kind of do a link and that would be useful.
Yeah.
For people looking for information as well. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Carly. Thanks, board. Okay, we're just gonna move into mayor and council reports. Start out today. So let's start with Councillor Evans.
Nothing to report today.
Councillor Rich.
Went on the business walk with Active and Mike Milmore. We had fun and learned a lot, lots of good stuff out there. And went to the Sycamoose Fire Department's emergency, kind of was a fair with all our different emergency crews out there at the Husky Esso, which was also good, lots of good information.
Excellent. Thank you, Councillor Bushel.
The chair, yeah, I've been kind of busy in and out of town, but I did attend the health center tour. It was just getting close to being open. It was pretty impressive, that's for sure. Had a couple of meetings with some businesses on the OCP. Thank Deb for the farmer's market. Weather was not the best. And Jake for the ball tournaments. Likewise, again, Sunday got a little bit rained out. And just wish everybody a happy Canada Day coming up, and car shows on Sunday and Canada Day on Tuesday, I think. Thank you.
Councillor McCabe.
Sorry, I had to unmute. Yeah, no, I have nothing to report, but thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks, Councillor Bailey.
I have nothing to report either. I'm just doing my other job.
Yeah, it's that time of year, right?
A year.
Yeah, through the chair, I attended the first official community planning presentation for the public on the 17th and was very impressed with the display and presentation. And have had a couple of important meetings with the Eagle Valley Community Support Society, welcoming our new executive director, Alan Bartolsik, which I hope he'll be coming at some point in the fall, maybe, to talk about the programs and stuff. And then attended the area Salmon Arm Area Community Response Network meeting, representing Sycamoose area, to hear about all of the great people supporting projects for food security, fundraising, and transport support for the area. So it was good. That's it.
Excellent, thank you. Yeah, and good point. Encourage everyone to get involved in the OCP and make sure that your input is being noted. I met with I had a meeting with the chair, CAO, and Bianca and I met with Chair Melanchuk from CSRD regarding rail trail. So we have some more information to gather from them, and they will be setting up a meeting with an appointment and coming to see that and present to council in the very, very near future. Went to the CSRD meeting last week, and it did have the opportunity to talk about signage and trespassing on the west side, which is a bit of an issue right now. So they will be looking at signage and are putting together a meeting to figure out how to move this forward. Just a reminder, for those that don't know that are traveling down Canby-Salsqua Road tomorrow at 3 p.m., the rail crossing is going to be having some work done, emergency work. So the communication on this was not the best from CPKC. However, it was brought to our attention quickly and we are trying to mitigate it. So they will now have flaggers and some alternating traffic. So just know that if you're traveling in that direction, there's going to be delays tomorrow. And that's 3 p.m. till 1 a.m. I just want to also recognize Jake DeWitt for amazing 2014 ball tournament this past weekend. And I know the weather wasn't that great, but the fact that 23 teams showed up in Sicamous was amazing. And the impact, the economic impact for our community was absolutely huge. So a big thank you to Jake DeWitt, who always does an amazing job with all the ball tournaments that he does. I attended the North Okanagan Columbia Regional District Hospital meeting, and they've got several projects that are coming to completion and several moving forward. It's just a lot in motion all the time with the Columbia Regional District Hospital. The Ferry Society, I just want to review this media release. So there's a newly established Sicamous Ferry Society preparing to set sail, offering a free pedestrian ferry service to transport residents and visitors between downtown Finlayson Street, the Sicamous Beach Park, and the beginning of the Shuswap North Okanagan Rail Trail. The first public voyage is expected to take place beginning of July. We built this ferry with a vision to create yet another unique and memorable experience for anyone who explores our region, says Mike Miltimore, the chair of the Sicamous Ferry Society. It's a Sicamous craftsmanship with a purpose. The ferry service will operate on a continuous loop from the public boat launch at the west end of Finlayson Street to the Sicamous Beach Park and the rail trail. Operating daily, the initial hours of service will be 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Up to 12 passengers will be welcome aboard per trip. The ferry is expected to operate until mid-February. Now, just keep in mind that these are in the planning stages, so it's kind of in sand right now, so nothing is locked down quite yet. We're stronger together as I feel like we're stronger together, and this Made in Sicamous Ferry project, it makes it unique and safe and fun for Sicamous with reliable access to the beach park as well as to the rail trail. And I just want to thank all of those who were involved in this for our community and our visitors to enjoy. The new ferry service will provide safe access to key recreational areas this summer while construction continues on the Trans-Canada Highway at the R.W. Broome Bridge, while the existing sidewalk to the Sicamous Beach Park remains temporarily closed for pile construction. The ferry offers a practical solution. This pilot project demonstrates what is possible when provincial, municipal governments, contractors, and local business come together to solve challenges creatively. An inaugural run will take place in late June as part of the system testing to prepare the ferry for public service on July the 2nd. So that was the media release that went out last. Okay, go ahead, Councillor Bailey, and I'll finish after you.
No, you just said mid-February. I think.
Mid-February.
I think you mean mid-September.
I'm pretty sure that's probably what I meant.
Yeah. That's all.
How fun is this for mid? Hey,
And a chili.
you know what? Let's not discourage snowshoers or cross country.
Fair enough.
The rail trail, have a vision. Okay, so we're pretty excited about that. And one more thing I just wanted to mention, I see we have the fire department, some of the fire staff here. I want to just say congratulations to the Sicamous Fire Rescue firefighters, Andre and Travis, for representing Sicamous at the Shuswap Emergency Expo this past weekend. They took first place in the Firefighter Skills Challenge alongside CSRD teammates Nick and Liz. Andre also earned an impressive second place in the Single Firefighter Challenge, competing against 23 participants. The dedicated team at Sicamous Fire Rescue inspires our confidence in their ability to protect and serve our community. Thank you to the Sicamous Fire Rescue crew for representing our community so well, and congratulations again on the fantastic achievement. Is there?
Got some pictures.
Come on up and present to your crew, please.
It's you to present to them.
Are they here? Can we get you guys up here? You want, where do you, Campton, where do you want everyone? Here, there?
Come on around, I'll trade you spots.
Congratulations, great job.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
All right. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Very nice. All right, and then maybe we can picture the pictures from the.
So we are going to move into public. Short and sweet. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, we're going to go into public input right now. We have 15 minutes. Do we have any hands up? All right. Come up to the podium, state your name, please. Hi.
Melanie Buchner, and this is my husband Jared. 2 of our 3 kids are here. For those of you who don't know us, we are avid dirt bikers. We race all over, racing dirt bikes, and we are also avid snowmobilers. We have been recognized by the BC Snowmobile Federation of Snowmobile Family of the Year of 2023. So we bring a lot of like the motorsports community to Sicamous. Yeah, and yeah, we eat, sleep, and breathe Sicamous. We love being here. Our community is awesome. We're just looking for a little bit of support today. Yeah, I'm on the I'm on the chamber board. I volunteered on the tourism committee. Thank you. I'm a terrible public speaker. But yeah, we're just looking for some support today. So basically, we own and operate Hanging Moose and Sicamous. Yeah, so we have a farm and we have a youth operations there. We've got a grape vineyard, we've got blueberries, blackberries, strawberries, and cherries that we farm on the property. And then we also operate a short-term rentals underneath that as well. So we have 10 camping sites or RV sites, or we also have this really cool yurt that's really needed in the forest down by the river. But anyways, we're coming here today because back in 2020, we were in talks with the planners of the town. And I had been in on Sarah, plenty of emails back and forth. And so we had told them our vision for our property, about our farm and our U-Pig and camping spots that we wanted to have. So underneath, with their advice and their guidance, they helped me get licensing and permit through the district. And so everything was fine and dandy back in 2020, and we've been operating for years since then. And I just received an email back in May from one of the planning developers saying that we are in violation of the short-term rentals and we are not licensed to have short-term rentals on our property. I responded back with the email and I said, hey, just so you know, like I was in talks with the town and y'all helped me set it up this way. So because we are an ALR land, the way that the planners explained it to me is that the farm is first and foremost, which we are 100% farming land, blood, sweat, and tears. Staying up till midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning, pruning bushes and all the things. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, so I responded back to the email and I says, hey, you know, you guys helped me set it up this way. We are licensed. Like, what's going on? I forwarded the emails that I had from the original planner. And I also sent off emails that I had from the Agricultural Land Commission to the planner. And, then I didn't hear much, and then
Any other questions, feel free to call us, right?
yeah, like I'm friendly, y'all know me, like. You can call me any time of the day, I'm always gonna pick up my phone. And, yeah, so yesterday we were blindsided, the Agricultural Land Commission showed up at our door. And Mark Sturrock Farm did like a totally self-guided tour. So he was basically walking around, looking at everything at Mark Farm, and I could barely keep up to him.
He was taking a bunch of pictures, so he's like, well, let's see this operation here, you know, and it's like, I'm like, oh, well, this is we got a 1 acre grape vineyard here, we have approximately 270 grape plants, right? This sort of got a bumper crop.
Yeah, so
And
we're
trying to show them all the grapes.
Trying to show him all the agricultural stuff that we're doing on the land, and like, hey, look at the grapes, look at this, and
Didn't take any pictures of that.
he basically toured through the farm, and then he stood there, he goes, this isn't a farm. This is not a farm.
This is a resort.
Yeah, he said, yeah, so he's like, no, everything that you're doing possible, you are doing it for a resort, which we have 10 camping sites. And so
We're trying to explain to him that, yeah, we're just a small family, we're just getting going. When we bought this place, the soil's really degraded, and I got an environmental and land and water reclamation degree in college, and I know that the soils are depleted, and every time it rained, all the soil's going straight down into the rivers, there's no ground cover, we just constantly tilled for 7 years just to control the weeds, right? So anyways, we had to get some ground cover on because every time the wind or whatever, right, you know what erosion's like. So we're establishing some ground cover and the soil's quite depleted or whatever, so at least now we got them stabilized, and we're trying to tell the Brandon guys, his name is that visit yesterday, and said, oh, Brandon, you know, we have this, we plan on expanding in the future, we're gonna put some habitat there.
the soil is not good enough right now, is our problem.
Well, it's getting there, right, and we can only physically do so much, right, we're working freaking turning both, candles turning both ends of the stick, you know what I mean? And we're telling them like we want to have hazards, we want to expand our operation, but it's too little, too late, we should work harder, our farms are freaking joke. We're not working hard enough, we're not going enough. And then, so basically we have about a 10-acre property that's alongside the river, I'm sure how to know where we're located. Just under 10 acres, we got 4 acres of forest. We have approximately 6 acres of everything else that's been cultivated, that includes our driveway in our house or a little modular home. Everything, so everything that's not, you know, our driveway or our living structure is planted to this hay, alfalfa, and pasture mix, and then in between that, we have our strawberries growing in our grape vineyard. And I was telling him, he said, this is non-farm use. I'm like, well, what are you talking about? This is all planted to hay till, right? And he wasn't hearing it. There's also this practice I do that I learned in college, it's called green manure basically. And instead of letting the alfalfa and hay grow tall and making hay bales, you can mow it down and it's like a motor, right? The more gas and air you put into it, the better it performs. So I'm putting, instead of taking the harvest off and putting it back into the soil to sustain it for future generations, and so we could have better fertile soils. He wasn't here. I don't even think you understand what I'm talking about.
I
So
must say that.
he's passionate, he's passionate.
About environmental and then.
And we absolutely, we love it. He's passionate about it. What I'd like you guys to do is set up a time to meet with CAO, Strachan here, and we'll get it all. He'll do whatever he can to assess. Dean, did you want to comment?
Yeah, because we spoke this morning, and so the LC has the right to do the inspection on the property. The provincial regulations allow them to do that.
We're just, our main question is that like, why, when the first emails were sent and we responded, say we were doing this under this act of the farm agriculture tour, why was a formal complaint from the district sent to the AR to come investigate us?
So just for some background on that, the province started a program under short-term rentals that does a scouring of the websites. scours the internet for advertising for short-term rentals. It's a provincial program. It's all across BC. Cross-reference advertising with databases of business licenses in the communities. So because you don't have a business license for short-term rentals, it was flagged as an Airbnb short-term rental in their provincial system. Because you're in the ALR, we have an obligation to contact the ALC on discussions with it. That's what the program format is. So it's not that the district went and sought your property out. It was flagged through the provincial system. And this is happening all over BC. So if you have an Airbnb ad, which I believe you had an Airbnb ad, is that correct?
Yeah.
So Airbnb is one of the systems they scour. So they pull through that data, they compare it to all the business license data in the area. And then when they do not find sort of connecting that you have a license, it gets flagged to the district. We then have to review it and we'll contact the ALC if it's in the ALR. And that's our obligation under the program, but it's a provincial program that does that. As to what you guys have got now, as I recommended to you this morning, once you receive your letter back, and the ALC doesn't just arbitrarily do things, they do it in a very regimented format, as you saw, they're professionals. And they have to be professional like that. And that can be a bit alarming when they come on because they are very official. But he will go through a process. He'll prepare a letter. It'll be comprehensive. It'll come to you. As soon as you receive that, I'm happy to sit down and meet with you. We'll go through what the letter says, what it means. I can explain to you the regulations around it. And more importantly, we can talk about any components that we have to work towards compliance on. I will help you navigate that process. And I'm happy to do that. As soon as you get the letter, we'll set up a meeting.
That's great.
Happy to do that.
It's the more we can get.
Well, in place, like.
I'm happy to do that.
With your support, as long as we know that we've got you in our corner, that we're working.
There's so many overlapping.
Just to be clear, though, that this is, you know, you can say in our corner, we're here to support you, but this is not our ability to override the ALC. The ALC is the authority. On ALR land, we are a child of the parent. The parent is the province. So the province will tell us what needs to happen. We will happily navigate the process. And I'm happy to help you with that. I've got a lot of experience with the ALR and the ALC, and I'm happy to help you navigate the process. But just to be clear, we cannot directly interfere nor advocate on your behalf directly, but we'll help you understand.
Yeah, we're not doing anything wrong. I'm like-
So, right, as soon as you get the letter, give Dean a call and he
It
will.
was basically when he summed it up when he left, is that he wanted us to fill a form. He wouldn't really tell us the official title name of the form. I'm sure we're gonna get it. But it was a $1,500 application and then it would go to a board to review our practices. Right?
Okay,
Yeah, like if we could get some kind of letter of support that we're actually out there doing what we're doing, if you guys wanna come out there, by all means.
They basically told us that we have to.
That's a few steps down the road and we'll get to that point, but let's get the letter from the ALC first. We'll meet, talk.
and move forward. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Anyone else in the gallery that has any questions? Anyone online?
Yep, up there.
Okay, Deb.
I was just gonna do so Deb, we 504 just a quick update that we did have our farmers market, our first regular season one. It was challenging, but the feedback I got from the vendors was those that showed up did pretty well. And so, you know, we're gonna be there, come rain or shine or whatever, every week from now until the end of September, so.
Awesome, great. Thanks, Deb.
We did get the word out, get the community supporting it, so.
No stopping the market in the rain. Rain or shine, rain or shine. Okay, any more questions? Okay, we're gonna adjourn this Cal at 2:06. Can I get a mover? Councilor Rich, Councilor Bushel, all in favor? And this meeting's adjourned.
See you at 5.
See you at 5.
I think that's.
5 o'clock.
Go back to work. That's right now.